The only thing we know to be true is nobody wants to die right now. I've spent millions of dollars to come back and realize that the most powerful things you can do for your health are free. The last Bitcoin halving is in 2140.
Yep.
I want to be around for it. I want the Bitcoin community to be around for that.
We're here at Bitcoin 2025 with none other than Bryan Johnson from Don't Die. He's a man who's well respected for his work in longevity research. First of all, let's start off with Bitcoin 2025. You were on stage here. What is someone like you doing at a Bitcoin conference?
Well, there's a lot of things we have in common. I mean, I really focused yesterday in my talk of how to take care of your personal health when you're building. And obviously people in the Bitcoin community are working very hard. It's a new technology. It's moving very fast. And when you have that kind of ecosystem, you are incentivized to not sleep well, to try to supply in 4 hours of sleep a night, maybe have pizza, like ramen. And so I wanted to talk about like the basics of taking care of health, because most people, like when you're grinding that hard, are suffering with some kind of mental challenge, either depression or anxiety, not feeling your best, then that you gain some weight. So I was trying to figure out like how to talk about these in ways that would help them feel confident in building in a rapidly evolving space and also feel great.
How do you view Bitcoin in general? I mean, like, do you hold any Bitcoin? Did you hold Bitcoin in the past? Do you view it as a freedom technology? And where do you see it playing a part in someone like you who might not die, who might live 200 years,
Yeah, I mean, the last Bitcoin halving is in 2140.
Yep.
I want to be around for it. I want the Bitcoin community to be around for that. It's really important that we think about our lifespans in that kind of time frame. And so I joke about it, but I'm also serious. Like, why wouldn't we all aspire to be around to see that last halving happen?
Let's talk about Don't Die. I mean, different people have different opinions about what it is to be human. And I think it's like the three certainties in life: death, taxes, and whatever the other third one is, right? Now, should we live forever?
Yeah. Don't Die says really nothing about living forever. It only says nobody wants to die right now.
Okay.
And so when you talk about like how does humanity figure out how we cooperate on any kind of anything, like we agree upon democracy as a form of governance, that we or like on capitalism as a monetary system. Don't Die is the singular thing in existence that every human on the planet agrees to every second of every day. And so it's really trying to say, as we give birth to superintelligence, and we're having to ask these fundamental questions: who are we? Who are we together? What is society? How do we function in society? What is AI? What does AI mean to society? I'm saying that the merge point for all of this is nobody wants to die right now. So really, it's an attempt at answering the most consequential question of our existence in this moment. Like, can we choose life?
Look, there's a lot of people online that say the way you're approaching Don't Die and the way that you approach your health protocol is just not accessible to the normal person on the street. How do you approach longevity that allows the normal person that's only earning a few $1,000s a month to follow this protocol and at least extend their lifespan and just be a healthy human in general?
The funny thing is, I've spent millions of dollars to come back and realize that the most powerful things you can do for your health are free. And so I've built everything I do around basically lifestyle choices, like deciding that my bedtime's 8:30 p.m. I go to bed at 8:30 p.m. on time every night. I make sleep my number one life priority. That's a choice. Right? I can actually abide by that with my lifestyle routines. And so I spend the majority of my time now talking about how you can get into health and wellness, get rid of the chaos that surrounds health, of like too much going on, everybody disagrees, and you can basically collapse it into a few simple things. And so, I think it's accessible, it's doable, and the majority of the benefits are achievable through these basic practices.
You made mention of coming to this conference and just being involved in the cryptocurrency space and giving people some practical advice to be healthy while they're building a startup or, trying to work in this industry, travel a lot. I mentioned to you that I flew a 10-hour flight from Amsterdam to Las Vegas. I changed time. So, I flew for 10 hours, but I left at 12 p.m. and I landed at 3 p.m. So I only lost 3 hours of time. But now, 2 days later, I'm wrecked. How should people be approaching a lot of travel, a lot of work, And what are some very easy practical ways that they can kind of approach this and try and be as healthy as possible?
Yeah, for international travel, I mean, it absolutely wrecks the body. So anybody who is traveling internationally a lot, just be aware, like there's a price you're going to pay and you can't avoid it. Or you can do to minimize it. So when you fly, try to fast on the airplane. Okay. It's better to have an empty stomach so you have a better likelihood of sleeping. No alcohol. When you step onto the airplane, the first thing they give you is a glass of alcohol. Don't do that. Then they have a screen in front of you blasting your eyes with red light. Turn the screen off. So no alcohol, no blue light, no screens. And then try to sleep on the plane. Then when you land, when you wake up the next morning, work out first thing in the morning and also eat. You want to tell your body we are in a new time zone. We're going to adapt to this new circadian rhythm, but you don't want to wait. So exercise and eating first thing in the morning and then start your protocol. So just try to adapt as much as possible.
When it comes to the philosophy around AI, I mean, you're advocating for people to live as long as possible by living healthily. When we get to a point of convergence with AI and we can upload our psyche onto a computer chip, would you be one of the people that wants to do that? And how do you feel about, artificial intelligence and humanity? I mean, we're a spirit in a vessel, and we have created artificial intelligence and technology. Do you think the two should merge, or are you a humanist?
I really don't have a perspective because that will happen the way it happens. It's so far off. What I will say, though, is we have this absolutely urgent, imminent, existential question before us of how fast AI is progressing. Mm-hmm. I think society is sleeping on AI. We don't understand how serious the situation is. It will become apparent in the coming months and years, but it is so significant. And what I'm saying is, in this moment, the only thing we know to be true is nobody wants to die right now.
Yes.
Literally, that's it. If you take anything else in existence, you have disagreement among everybody. Yeah. But that's the one thing we agree upon. So if we bridge that to AI, is that AI, we're going to build AI with this, that we say existence is the highest virtue. Yeah. That is our whole thing. We don't want to kill each other anymore. We don't want to kill ourselves. Yeah. We don't want to kill the planet. Mm-hmm. We just want to exist and secure our existence. Yeah. That's what I'm building towards.
Okay. My final question to you, you have a great presence online on social media. You have a lot of haters. There's some hilarious stuff out there about you. How do you maintain such a positive attitude dealing with social media and all the craziness?
Yep. Being human is hard, right? So when people are criticizing me, they're mostly projecting about themselves. And I empathize with them that it is hard to be human.
Yes.
It hurts to be human. And I think people see me okay, you're rich. You get to do this. I'm pissed. And so I want to meet them in the middle and be like, I understand where you're coming from, and I want to be useful to you. When I was building as an entrepreneur, I didn't have anybody in my life, nobody, that would say, Bryan, you need to prioritize your sleep. You need to eat well, you need to exercise. Nobody. People are saying work harder, sleep less, sleep under the desk, right? Because that's what you really do to acquire status. So I'm really trying to step up and be like, you can and never should. You can, and it will be in your best interest to make health your number one life priority. So I don't view it as hate. Yeah. They're just working through their own stuff, and it's cool. So I want to be there for them and be the voice in their ear that you can do it. You can say no to the bad stuff and say yes to the good stuff.